A reading from the book of Job, chapter 37. The storm makes my heart beat wildly. Listen, all of you, to the voice of God, to the thunder that comes from his mouth. He sends the lightning across the sky from one end of the earth to the other. Then the roar of his voice is heard, the majestic sound of thunder, and all the while the lightning flashes. At God's command, amazing things happen, wonderful things that we can't understand. He commands snow to fall on the earth and sends torrents of drenching rain. He brings our work to a stop. He shows us what he can do. The wild animals go to their dens. The storm winds come from the south and the biting cold from the north. The breath of God freezes the waters and turns them to solid ice. Lightning flashes from the clouds as they move at God's will. They do all that God commands everywhere throughout the world. God sends rain to water the earth. He may send it to punish us or to show us his favor. Pause a moment, Job, and listen. Consider the wonderful things God does. Do you know how God gives the command and makes lightning flash from the clouds? Do you know how clouds float in the sky, the work of God's amazing skill? No. You can only suffer in the heat when the south wind oppresses the land. Can you help God stretch out the sky and make it as hard as polished metal? Teach us what to say to God. Our minds are blank. We have nothing to say. I won't ask to speak with God. Why should I give him a chance to destroy me? And now, the light in the sky is dazzling, too bright for us to look at it. And the sky has been swept clean by the wind. A golden glow is seen in the north, and the glory of God fills us with awe. God's power is so great that we cannot come near him. He is righteous and just in his dealings with us. No wonder, then, that everyone is awed by him and that he ignores those who claim to be wise. The word of the Lord. A reading from the book of Job, chapter 38. Then, out of the storm, the Lord spoke to Job. The Lord: who are you to question my wisdom with your ignorant, empty words? Now, stand up straight and answer the questions I ask you. Were you there when I made the world? If you know so much, tell me about it. Who decided how large it would be? Who stretched the measuring line over it? Do you know all the answers? What holds up the pillars that support the earth? Who laid the cornerstone of the world? In the dawn of that day, the stars sang together, and the heavenly beings shouted for joy. Who closed the gates to hold back the sea when it burst from the womb of the earth? It was I who covered the sea with clouds and wrapped it in darkness. I marked a boundary for the sea and kept it behind bolted gates. I told it, so far and no further. Here your powerful waves must stop. Job, have you ever in all your life commanded a day to dawn? Have you ordered the dawn to seize the earth and shake the wicked from their hiding places? Daylight makes the hills and valleys stand out like the folds of a garment, clear as the imprint of a seal on clay. The light of day is too bright for the wicked and restrains them from doing violence. Have you been to the springs in the depths of the sea? Have you walked on the floor of the ocean? Has anyone ever shown you the gates that guard the dark world of the dead? Have you any idea how big the world is? Answer me if you know. Do you know where the light comes from, or what the source of darkness is? Can you show them how far to go, or send them back again? I am sure you can, because you're so old and were there when the world was made. Have you ever visited the storerooms where I keep the snow and the hail? I keep them ready for times of trouble, for days of battle and war. Have you been to the place where the sun comes up, or the place from which the east wind blows? Who dug a channel for the pouring rain and cleared the way for the thunderstorm? Who makes rain fall where no one lives? Who waters the dry and thirsty land so that grass springs up? Does either the rain or the dew have a father? Who is the mother of the ice and the frost, which turn the waters to stone and freeze the face of the sea? Can you tie the Pleiades together, or loosen the bonds that hold Orion? Can you guide the stars season by season and direct the big and the little dipper? Do you know the laws that govern the skies, and can you make them apply to the earth? Can you shout orders to the clouds and make them drench you with rain? And if you command the lightning to flash, will it come to you and say, "At your service"? Who tells the ibis when the Nile will flood? Or who tells the rooster that rain will fall? Who is wise enough to count the clouds and tilt them over to pour out the rain, rain that hardens the dust into lumps? Do you find food for lions to eat and satisfy hungry young lions when they hide in their caves or lie in wait in their dens? Who is it that feeds the ravens when they wander about hungry, when their young cry to me for food? The word of the Lord.